Hello, come on, welcome. We in this day we have endocrine system. We will discuss at first where we are we finding this system in our body. This system, I mean endocrine system, comprises of widely distributed a group of organs that work together to maintain the body's metabolic equilibrium homeostasis. These organs are pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid glands, endocrine pancreas, and finally adrenal glands. The function of this system in normal setting. Normal cells secrete molecules, which are frequently called hormones, carried by the blood from endocrine gland to its target cells. Most of them produced in response to particular metabolic needs, so called trophic hormones. Their production then regulates the activity of the gland in a process known as feedback inhibition. So, notice that this system contains a gland distributed in different positions in our body, and each gland, I mean endocrine gland, secrete molecules called hormones. These hormones carried by blood from this gland to its target tissue or cell. The secretion of these hormones occur in response to particular metabolic needs. One of them secrete in response to metabolic needs, so-called trophic hormones, and this secretion occur in a process known as feedback inhibition. So these glands, similarly, these glands or endocrine glands secrete hormones in response to metabolic needs called trophic hormones in a process known as feedback inhibition, and these hormones bind to their receptors on the target cells, and these receptors either found on the cell surface receptor or intracellular receptor. So by this manner we will classify these hormones on the nature of their receptors. At first, there is hormones that act by binding to cell surface receptors, and there is hormones that act by binding to intracellular receptors. At first class, we will discuss the hormones that act by binding to cell surface receptors, which are composed of two groups. First group called peptide hormones, example growth hormone and insulin, and the second group is small molecules. Example of them is epinephrine. Both of these groups will binding to these receptors and lead to an increase in intracellular second messengers like ionized calcium and cyclic adenosine monophosphate and inositol 1,4,5 triphosphate. By their binding, leading to increased intracellular second messengers like this, and these messengers will lead to increased intracellular signaling pathways that lead to increased cell growth, cell differentiation, and alter cell function. Hormones. This is target cell contain plasma membrane And this plasma membrane contains target cell surface receptors. The blood carries hormones from the endocrine gland to this target cell. As we are discussing, this will lead to increased intracellular messenger, and lead to increased signaling pathways, and lead to cell differentiation, alter cell function, cell growth. This is the action of hormones that bind to cell surface receptors, while hormones that act by binding to intracellular receptors like nucleus or cytoplasm. Example of them, like we have monolipid, soluble lipid hormones pass through plasma membrane by diffusion and interact with receptors in cytosol or the nucleus that result in hormone receptor complex. This is meaning these hormones, which is lipid soluble, when passed through plasma membrane by process of diffusion, will interact with receptors in cytosol or the nucleus, leading to formation of hormone receptor complex. As you have seen, these hormones that carry from the gland by blood to the target cell and interact just with intracellular receptors that found in cytosol or nucleus, enter to them by diffusion through plasma membrane to produce this complex called hormone receptor complex. Binding with this complex will bind with regulatory elements in DNA that will lead to affect expression of specific target genes. At first, so these hormones are really found in our body and do this action. Some of these hormones are steroids like estrogen, progesterone, glucocorticoids, and retinoids like vitamin A and thyroxine. So, hormones that secreted by any endocrine gland are two. Hormones act on cell surface receptors, and as we have discussed, like growth hormone, insulin, and epinephrine, that increase intracellular secret messengers, and this will increase signaling pathway, and this will affect your cell growth and cell function and cell differentiation, while this group that bind to intracellular receptors will affect on expression of specific target genes, will affect on the target genes. Just endocrine diseases or abnormality of the endocrine system. All this abnormality or any endocrine disease will be caused by overproduction or downproduction of hormones associated by chemical and clinical consequences. This is meaning the amount of production of hormones is overproduction or downproduction. This is the first cause. The second cause is end organ resistance to the effect of a hormone, as like insulin resistance. Neoplasms, this is the third cause. Neoplasms may be non-functional pituitary adenoma cause hypothyroidism, or neoplasms that associate with overproduction of hormones, as you know, hyperthyroidism, like this, or associated with underproduction of hormones like hypothyroidism. Diagnosis of endocrine disease by biochemical measurement of the levels of the hormones, their regulators, and their metabolites, like we have thyroid disease. And we does not know the cause, so we will send for investigation for T3 or T4 TSH and find